Hi everyone, welcome back to the London Football Show. Been a few weeks since our last episode. Another international break around the corner. I think this is the last weekend before we go into the final one of the year. So big games coming up this weekend. Is not often you get sort of multiple like big games towards the top of the table in the same week. So yeah, we'll start with the big one. City Liverpool at the Etihad. Big game. I mean, from my perspective, it cannot be a draw. I was telling Ross that we like someone needs to win, and I don't care who. Someone needs to win. Well, I kind of do care who. For me, I need Man City to win because I don't trust Liverpool, guys. I'm sorry. I've watched Liverpool's defense over the past weeks. The big win against Real Madrid in midweek, and then obviously a good win against Villa last week. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I still think Slot is trying to find a balance, and obviously loads of signings coming in the summer, but I think it's too many cooks, me personally. Like last season they had a system, they had like a balance, especially in the midfield. And I think now obviously trying to integrate guys like Florian Wirtz into the team, it's more attack minded and they've lost that defensive solidity. So I don't know. But then when you look at the flip side, I was saying to Ross, Man City are Haaland injury away from being finished. Finished because I don't know who scores Man City's goals if Haaland's not there. I was just checking the Man City's results, and no other City player scored a Prem goal in October, which is crazy to me because when I think of 3, 4 years ago, if Haaland the first season when they won the treble, Mahrez can score, Julian Alvarez will score, De Bruyne will score. Foden will score. And this is if Haaland don't score, which was almost every week anyways. You had five goal scorers. Gundogan, I don't know if I said him, but yeah, they had multiple goal scorers. Now they're not that team, but I still think they're probably the best equipped team to stay with Arsenal purely because Haaland's an alien. So I don't know what you both think about that.
It doesn't matter what happens. One of them team is going to win the Premier League. So,
Agreed.
so,
Oh,
Agreed.
like it could be deemed as like a draw could be good for both teams. A win could, it don't really matter really because yeah, everyone can be impressed with Arsenal. Fair enough, fine. But Liverpool, you know, they could have had their dodgy run now, so they could just be fine. Man City are on top. I think Man City are doing very well. I kind of agree from a goal scoring point of view, Haaland, yes, but I just think I can't see, as much as it pains me to say it, I think one of them will win the title, but you know, it's at Man City, isn't it, the game?
yeah.
So is a draw a bad result for Man City? Not as bad as it is for Liverpool. Is a draw for Liverpool worse? They need to win really to show their dominance and to get back into the sort of top with the title race, possibly. So it could be a good game. But yeah, you know, I thought when you were saying like we're going to start with like the biggest games and all that, I thought you were going to start from the bottom and do West Ham Burnley. But we'll start with Man City Liverpool. That's
Well,
fine.
you know, with how bad, even though Liverpool have been so bad, I think they're 1 point behind City. So it's mad. Like City have been
Yeah.
good, but like not the City that we know. Like well, over the past sort
There
of
was a stat. There was a
before
stat
last
I
season.
read. There was a stat I read and got given, and then saw it on one of the programs that the team who were top at Halloween or something like that never won the title
Well, they do, but the teams that haven't
for
won it
about,
are them. It's them.
for about the five. Yeah, but the teams that were top in the last
Yeah.
5 years of the Premier League at Halloween or something like that haven't won the title.
Who? What? Before, other than last season, because Liverpool this time last season were clear already. They had to be. Maybe before
I'm
last.
only
What?
saying what the stat said. I'm only saying
Yeah.
what the stat said.
Oh, fair,
I
fair.
think it was Halloween or something like that.
Mhm.
That whoever was top didn't win the title.
I'm worried this season though, guys. I'm worried, man. Before last season, I knew like this time last season, I knew like right, Liverpool. If Liverpool play to their max, they're the best team in this league. And then City, even when like 22, 23, when that was their first year challenging, I knew you knew City once it clicks. But this is the first season where it's like I don't see an outstanding team or challenger to these guys. It's the first season, so I'm worried. I'm worried. I can't lie. I don't know.
The thing is,
Are
Arsenal
we?
have
Are
been
we all?
performing well. They've been performing well. But we all know that Man City and Liverpool didn't do anything better than them. What led to their demise or their downfall was their own. If you think about
Yeah,
it, they beat the top teams. They beat Man City last season 5-1. They beat Liverpool, but they still finished second. You gotta ask yourself, why is it? Is it psychological? Is it the pressure? I mean, Coming into the season, a lot of Arsenal fans were saying that this was Arteta's last season. He had to is go big or go home. And right now he's on course. Let's give him his props. However, if he fails, failure, I mean not even in the trophy, because you go around by quarterfinal of EFL, they're doing well in Champions League. So if they go all out
But
and then they start getting injuries, they start blaming that, it gets to their head and then they crumble. They have no one but to themselves to blame.
yeah, my question will always come back to what I said earlier on in another podcast we said that we did earlier, recorded earlier, is if Arteta does not win the Premier League this season, regardless of what he wins, he should be sacked. You can't have 7 or 8 attempts to win the Premier League and keep coming up short. But people have said, "Oh, but if they win the Champions League, he's going to be like, no."
I said,
The
yeah, I
bread
said
and
if he wins,
butter,
I
the
said he'll get a
bread and
statue. If he
butter
wins
is
the
the
Champions League, I
Premier
said he'll get a
League.
statue. Yeah, I
The
mean, I
bread
know
and
you've always
butter
said
is
that.
the Premier League. It's as simple as that. And Reception, you're spot on. See, we're only discussing Liverpool, Man City because we all don't want Arsenal to win the title. That's the
Yeah,
bottom line. That's the bottom line.
yeah,
But we bring it back to the game on Sunday, Liverpool, Man City. It's irrelevant for me because they'll both still be up and thereabouts, and one of them will win the title. And
right. So then, yeah.
regarding Arsenal, they are doing a lot better. They have surprised people by not running away with games, scoring the first goal in like the 50th, 60th minute, and then winning 3-0 later on with 2 late goals. It's good football. They're playing better. They've got a little bit of more strength in depth, maybe. But at the end of the day, I will be the first one applauding if Arteta wins the Premier League. If he doesn't, he has to go. He
Who's
has
best
to go.
equipped? Who's best out of City and Liverpool? Then, obviously, if one of them's winning it,
They
who's
both
best
are. They
equipped?
both are. They
No, but
both are because they've proven the last 3 or 4 seasons that they can
so
win
who
the
will win it
title.
then? So who will win it then?
Liverpool
Probably,
have to win it. They have to. I'm
probably Man
sorry. They can't
City.
invest that
Telling
much
you right
money.
now, Liverpool, yeah. I don't know. So I'll say this right here. On what date? November. Liverpool are not finishing above Arsenal. Not. I'm convinced. I'm convinced they're so
That's
bad
fine.
defensively.
See, I
They're
agree
That's
with
so
you,
fine.
but
bad.
I'm just hoping that they will. Stats say that they're
If
not going
you,
to win it this year. No
yeah,
team has
if
lost
you look at all the,
four in a row and gone on to win the Prem. But listen, records are there to be broken. I mean, look at my team. We've broken all of the worst records there could be. So we can't write
Yeah,
them
true.
off. And I'm sorry, like, what is it? 300 mil this summer they spent? Isak still
Yeah,
hasn't found form. Wirtz hasn't
500,
found form.
500.
500.
Mhm.
What if they do click in? I don't know what's going to happen. I'll be honest with you. Apparently, Isak is now back to training with first team. Works. He's found a bit of form. Got 2 assists against, I think it was Leipzig in the Champions League. Who knows? All it takes is for that one spot, that one click.
So I'll give you a scenario, right? Before we move on. Obviously, City win. City win on the weekend. Liverpool are 10 points behind Arsenal. 10 points. So 10 points behind Arsenal, and they're still gonna bridge that gap. I'm just saying hypothetically. Obviously, Liverpool can win.
But you got to remember, 3 of those 6 point swing can come from when they face each other.
Yeah.
Second, we still got.
I
So the
mean,
thing is, right? We're not even halfway through the first half of the season. Actually, we are. Yeah, just over. We still
hmm
have 20 games to go.
we've only
Yeah.
played 10 games in the Premier
We've only
League.
played 10 games. We're not even at
There's
Yeah.
30
Christmas.
games to go. There's
We can
20.
talk
There's
about we can
20.
talk about this. We can have this conversation, but it's the equivalent of entertaining Man United being in the top four conversation. We win 3 games in a row, and all of a sudden we're top four now. Come on, let's be realistic.
Mm.
I know
Arsenal
I
it's
I
have
different.
hope
been
you're
in this.
right, man. I hope one
Arsenal
of you
have
or
not been
both
in
of you
this
are right, man.
position for a long time.
The
They
thing
have
is,
not been in
Arsenal
this.
theoretically, as it stands right now, if you were to like simulate the rest of the season, they should win. And based on that fact, if they don't, I think it'll be embarrassing.
Yeah, but Sanford,
Especially,
if it
and
was
what
Man City,
amplifies it is the way their fans are speaking.
yeah, if it was Man City or Liverpool in the same position that Arsenal are in right
Oh,
now,
I expect them to
all of
win the
us would
title.
be
Yeah.
saying we're
Yeah.
confident they've won the title already. The fact is, Arsenal have not been in this position for a long time and could sustainably, like you're right, Sion, if Man City win, Arsenal are 10 points clear of Liverpool. They haven't been in that position for years. Yeah. So that's the factor, is that can they pull it off? And we know the history of Arsenal. They're very, if I can say it, no offense, they're very Spursy when it comes to sort of the title. You know, don't follow it through. But anyway, I thought we were starting with like the biggest games of the weekend. But anyway,
Right,
let's move on
Ross.
to.
Right, Ross. Spurs, Man United. Your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's the early one, isn't it? That's the
The early
12:30 one,
one.
isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Um, I mean, United, we've been a bit of a topic recently, given the whole situation with the 5 games in a row.
Manager of the month, didn't he? He got manager of the month.
Did he? Didn't even
Well,
know.
Amrim. Oh,
Yeah,
me
got
neither.
manager of the month.
Yeah, I didn't know either. Well, fair enough.
But yeah. No, overall, October was a good month for us. It was a good month. We beat Liverpool. We did well. Um, not the greatest result against Forest, but we can only do what we can do in front of us. I do feel like there is a lot of pressure on Man United. I think again, nothing against the lad, the United Strand lad, but I feel like people are emphasizing too much on his hair and the 5 in a row for us to perform well. I feel like if Man United don't win 5 games in a row, we're terrible. We haven't done a
Can
good
I ask
job.
you something, Sanford, about that?
Yeah,
Yeah. Can I ask something about that 5 in a row? Yeah. Were Man United in the last 3 or 4 years known to be winning 5 games in a
No,
row anyway?
no.
So why come up with that statement? It's so much ridiculously maybe say 3 in a row, fair enough. But
yeah,
when was
yeah.
the last time Man United won 5 in a row?
But you know what? Forget that. Last season, yeah, I saw apparently only three teams like won five in a row. And I was like, oh, if I checked, yeah, Liverpool will be there. I don't think Liverpool even won five Prem games because I don't know, is it 5 games in all
It's
comps or
five
Prem
games in
both?
all comps. It's five
Oh,
games
it's
in
got to
all
be
Oh,
all
comps.
comp, surely,
and then
please.
look, and then you get like when you look at a 5 game run, yeah, usually it will have you have three or four Prem games and then you have a cup game there. Obviously, these guys they're not in the EFL Cup anymore, the League Cup. So then straight away until January, you're talking they're only going to play Prem games until the FA Cup starts in January. So that is very rare. Like teams win five league games in a row, let alone 5 games in a row in all comps. So I don't. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough.
So for me, I feel like we keep what we're doing. As I was saying to see prior to recording, we've got a good run of games on paper. Again, I always say on paper because with Man United, you can never know what's going to happen. Like honestly, to any bookies, anyone that's betting on them, please don't. I don't even like at this point. I don't even know what my team is going to come up with in the next game. I can't foresee it. I used to be like that with them. I could tell what they're gonna do. I could read their mind. Now it's like I don't know what's going on. I'm hoping they finally find their rhythm. They find their philosophy. Amarin finds his feet as well, and he does what he needs to be done. But like I said, we've got a good run of games. Spurs this weekend is a tough one, but then up until nearly Christmas, we don't play Villa or Newcastle. So this is our moment to capitalize on it, take advantage of the bottom half teams, saying that they can always, try harder. And we go from there. Don't really expect too much on the January transfer window. Again, as much as I don't like being out of cup competitions, there's no excuse for the players now. They get almost 7 day rest each week, so they have to give it all their best until the FA Cup starts.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. I know as for the game tomorrow, yeah, I don't know Spurs they were really bad against us last week. And I don't obviously they've had a good record against United in recent years, but I don't know that to me, I'm seeing all of it and then I'm like, well, that makes me actually think United are gonna win because I don't know how long Spurs are gonna keep up not losing to these guys. And obviously Spurs obviously play Champions League in midweek. I think Kudos is a doubt. I'm not sure if he'll play or not. And obviously, as you said, United are fresh, so Amorim, I expect that they would have had time to plan for Spurs. Obviously, the Europa League final is probably still fresh. A lot of these group of players played in that final. So I think that will give sort of extra fire, extra motivation for United to come. So I actually think United will win. Um, yeah, me personally, even though I think Spurs are at home. James, your thoughts?
I don't know. I don't know. It's an interesting one. It depends, really. The only thing that might save Spurs is they're at home, but I don't know. I could be sitting on the fence to just go for a draw, really.
It's gonna be a
Um,
draw.
I just
Spurs. I
think
mean, Spurs. Funny enough, Spurs are at home, but that's been for this season. That's been a disadvantage for them. Like they've been good away from home. Wolf, they drew they drew with Wolf. Wolf should have beaten them there. They scored a like 94th minute equalizer against Wolves or 90 something. They lost to us. They lost to Villa. Their home form's been bad, but then you look at their best results: City away, I think away from home it sort of suits them better because they like playing a double pivot of what's his name, Paulinho and Bentancur. And I know in a lot of home games, like for example, you go away to City, they're fine with that. You soak up pressure, you play on the counter. But in some of the games where against the lesser teams, Wolves at home, for example, where they want a bit more attacking lineup, I know some of them have got onto Thomas Frank a bit. Not like oh like we want him out or anything, but starting to like they're getting a bit frustrated with him.
That,
So
that's my worries. I think they're due a big win at Spurs.
yeah, it's true. It's true because
They're
even
due a big
Thomas,
win. The
yeah,
atmosphere could be there because of the Europa League final. Because of what happened, because of what's happened recently. Thomas Frank will be desperate for a win at home in the Premier League.
yeah.
That's the thing. Whether he gets his formation right, I don't know. But then Man United have been playing quite well, so it's got a draw written all over, really.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I know. Obviously with Frank as well. Obviously the pressure of obviously managing a bigger club than Brentford. Like at Brentford, he could pick whatever team he wants. I know Brentford fans gonna really complain about it, but you're at Spurs, not like saying they're like big compared to the biggest clubs in this league, but they are big clubs still. So you ain't gonna get away with it. Like they will sort of make their voices heard, I guess. But yeah, West Ham Burnley, James. Good win last week. Big win last
Yeah,
week
but
against
that win
Newcastle.
last week's irrelevant if we don't win tomorrow. It's as simple as that. I know it's the old adage. Newcastle were disappointing. I'm saying that as a West Ham fan. They were disappointing. I like Newcastle as a team, but they didn't play at all. He made 3 changes at half time, and he says he could have pulled off anyone. Gordon had a slight knock because I thought he was the better player for Newcastle. West Ham played well. They didn't crumble, which is what they've been doing because Bowen hit the post. 30 seconds later, they took the lead, Newcastle. We didn't crumble. We played well. We rode our luck a little bit. We got a lucky second goal with a deflection from Wan-Bissaka's cross that Botman put in his own net. And we were 2-1 hanging on for ages. And we scored the third in the last seconds in the 95th, 96th minute of injury time. But the 3 points was worthwhile. It was the first win since February over 270 odd days at the London Stadium. So all of that is good. It's 3 points. We're 3 points away from Burnley now. But it's irrelevant if we don't win tomorrow. The expectation now is that Nuno's got to follow it up. There's a bit of concern in his press conference he had yesterday. There was a bit of concern with him talking about Potts. So that's one game. That's one game. Yes, that's not, and the team plays. He does a team for each game. You kind of think like he can't afford to drop Potts. He can't afford to do that. He should start with the same 11, maybe tweak it a bit. Does he need to start Wilson? I don't know. He didn't really do much against Newcastle. But whatever happens tomorrow, I will take a 90th minute win, a 1-0 boring game, as long as West Ham win it. Because that will be 6 points in 2 games, international break, level on points. I don't think we can get out the bottom 3 because the goal difference is too weak. But if we end up losing to Burnley, who's another promoted side, that will mean we've lost to Sunderland away. Leeds. What did we do at Leeds away?
Yeah, Leeds beat you 2-1.
Leeds away as
And
well.
then we lose to Burnley. We've lost to all 3 promoted clubs. And we've been
Jeez.
banging on about the promoted clubs don't stay up and everyone goes down. What
Yeah.
does that tell you about West Ham if they lose tomorrow? Scotty Parker, West Ham. I can't say West Ham legend, but I can say a favourite of the West Ham fans.
Cult hero, icon.
He won. He won't even go as far as icon because he went to play for Tottenham. But he won the Players' Writers Award or the Players' Award in the whole league when West Ham got relegated that season.
Scott Parker was cold, man. I remember the early days watching football. He's a baller, man. He's a baller, man.
Very good manager. He needs to stay up with Burnley on a side note because teams he's brought up or he's come up with have got relegated. He hasn't had a good. He's not got a good Premier League record.
No,
with the teams he's been promoted with. So he's either been sacked or got them down. Do you know what I mean? But the simple answer is West Ham 3 points is a must. And don't get carried away from last week because Newcastle were poor. So I'll only get carried away if West Ham win tomorrow.
Speaking of Newcastle, I feel like they're trying to go for the cup competitions.
Who's that?
Newcastle.
Yeah, because you see
the result against West Ham and then the result against Atletico Club.
What's up with Newcastle, by the way? Like, what's up with them? Their league form's bad. So these guys not like 13th or 14th in the league.
They are, and then Champions League, they're pulling off results. And the thing is, the teams they're facing, they're not even like I would say mediocre. These are like top half teams in their leagues. Athletic Club, big club in Spain. Bilbao, that it's a big club. Beat them I think it was 2-0, clean sheet, comfortable. So I feel like Eddie Howe, I think he realizes his success is through there. He's trying to bank on it.
He won the League Cup, didn't he?
Yeah, and I feel like
he saw a trophy now. They've got that off the back. I agree. Yeah, I agree because you look at it, They were poor against West Ham. They made West Ham look really good. I'm being honest with the West Ham fan, but also as with my commentator's hat on as well. Like the Newcastle were poor, and I think you're right. I think he just set it up that like he stays in the cup competition as long as possible, regardless of what they are, because they're still in the League Cup, aren't they? As you said,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what,
the
you can't really
holders.
blame them.
they're
They
in the
were far
Champions
out.
League. And I think that's where his bread and butter is. I think he knows that. As a fan, Newcastle love that cup competition. And as long as he's not in a relegation battle in the Premier League and he's in the top 8, top 10, and wins
Yeah,
the occasional I think you're spot on with something. That's a great point. A great point. But anyhow, yeah, cups, yeah,
because I
they should
expected
qualify in the top 16. Is it top 16 or 18 or whatever?
24. 24 or something like that. But I
Yeah.
expect to see Newcastle. I'm not saying I think me personally, I don't think their squad is that good to obviously juggle all the competitions, league and the cups, but like they could be top, like they're 13th or 14th in the Prem. Like, it's really bad. I didn't know their Prem season was that bad so far. Obviously, I still expect them to turn it around. But yeah, I mean, I like Newcastle personally. I like seeing Newcastle do well. I just saw that. I'm like, yeah. I saw was Potts man of the match. By the way, you're saying about not starting. Like he has to start surely.
Yeah, no, it's just if you listen carefully to Nuno's press conference yesterday, it was very telling that, like, and I think he was mainly, I'm hoping he was just saying, let's not get carried away, West Ham fans, for Potts. Like, there were people saying he's the next Mark Noble, Declan Rice. Well, yeah, maybe in 3 years we get another 100 million from another club, then fair enough. But because the thing is, with what people may not realise, Potts was Portsmouth's Player of the Year last year. He was on loan at Portsmouth, did so well there. He's been on loan as well to might be Wickham, I think it is. He was there for a bit as well. He's got a lot of like football experience, not Premier League, and he did make a big difference. But it's what West Ham have been crying out for. We were having aging legs in the midfield with Andy Irvine and Thomas Soucek, and it was costing us. And it freed up Paquetá to relax because he had Potts who was everywhere. Potts, they showed it on Match of the Day. His heat map was just in one square of like the middle. He was everywhere, and he played well. If he doesn't play tomorrow, there'll be a few. It'd be interesting. But I'm not saying he's not playing. I think he will play. I think Nuno will start with the same team, but maybe considering dropping Wilson to the bench and maybe playing Bowen as a striker and then bringing in someone else wide or something. I don't know. But yeah, Potts was, outstanding. Freddie Potts. That's Freddie Potts. Dan Potts is still playing. His other brother, and obviously his dad, Steve Potts, is on the bench as one of the coaches. That's a bit odd. But anyway.
Chelsea Wolves, obviously, similar to Ross. Actually, we don't know what I'm gonna get when I watch us from week to week. It's like the big games this season with Liverpool at home, Spurs away. Once when you know it's a big game, I feel like the players. I don't know if it's motivation, complacency for me. Is like when you play Sunderland at home. Like some people might think, oh yeah, that's sort of 3 points. We go up, we start the game well against Sunderland, we score early, first 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then we stop playing football. They deservedly beat us. Then obviously Spurs. I was worried. I think I predicted the defeat because I'm like, I don't know. I got the Sunderland game in my mind, and obviously we got a good record against Spurs. But I'm like, the longer a record goes on for so long, how beating them almost every year, that's make me think like, oh well, maybe this is the one that's gonna not go so well. And then Karabag in midweek, they must be easily one of the three worst teams in the Champions League. They have to be. They have to be, and they should have beaten us. We drew 2-2, but they created the better chances, had more shots, higher XG. We should have lost to one of the worst teams in the Champions League. So I don't know. If we continue like this in the Champions League, we won't be going very fast. So Wolves at home tomorrow, it should be a win. But if I look at our best performances probably this season have been obviously Spurs and Liverpool. These are big games where it's more 50-50. And our worst results have come Brighton at home, where you expect us to win. Sunderland at home. Even Old Trafford, we haven't won there for so many years, but we've been probably a
You're,
better team than Man United for so many years. And we couldn't win there either. So I
you're,
don't know.
you're at Stamford Bridge, aren't you?
Stamford Bridge, yeah.
Wolves, they haven't named the manager yet, although they're talking to Rob
Nah.
Edwards, I think, at Middlesbrough.
Yeah, Rob,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
but
did.
they
And
haven't
Rob
appointed
Edwards,
anyone yet.
he didn't do his press conference today, Rob Edwards, and he wasn't at training today. So that's an interesting one. But I think it'd be foolish to leave Middlesbrough to go to Wolves because Middlesbrough, I think they're second or third in the Championship.
Wow.
Also, the only problem I have is by the time it gets to 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, I'm falling asleep. The most ridiculous time for a kick-off in any football game, let alone a Premier League game. eight
Mm.
o'clock on a Saturday night, and mainly not just for me and falling asleep, but the fans of Wolves leaving Stamford Bridge at 10 o'clock. You're lucky to get the last train back. It's ridiculous. Liverpool at Brentford last weekend. I think that was an 8 o'clock kickoff. It's ridiculous that we're turning into ridiculous kickoff times for TV. Unbelievable. Chelsea will win 4 or 5-0. Simple.
And then last one, bit of a sort of like random one. I obviously saw that there's no Boxing Day fixtures this year, and I don't know. I like the Boxing Day schedule, me
I
personally,
think there's
and
one. I think there's
There is
one. I
one.
think
There is
is
one.
there one game? Yeah,
United.
but so there's
United.
one, and then everyone else is playing like the date, like the 27th, 28th. I saw that. I was a little bit sad, I'm like, oh damn, I'm used to that cycle of waking up the day after Christmas. I'm like, right, that's probably my favorite day of the year. I can't lie when it comes to the football. So I
But
don't know
let's
about
let's
your thoughts
let's
on that.
comes
I
back to
like
my
that
point.
Boxing Day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
go on.
comes back to my point. What's the main reason for
The
it?
TV viewership. It's
Yeah,
because
yeah,
you got to remember Sky took back majority of the games
And
yeah,
am I
yeah.
right? I'm just checking. I'm just checking as well. Is it that
because
Boxing Day falls on a Friday or something? So
What's it?
Thursday.
they
That's just
Let's
and
see.
Friday.
like
Yeah.
Friday. Yes,
we're
Friday.
we're playing. We got two home games in
Yeah.
like a Tuesday and a Tuesday. I don't know. It's
Because
something strange.
Friday. Yeah,
Boxing
you're
Day
right.
used to
Friday.
be
Friday.
Prime. Used to be Prime, and then our Prime no longer renewed their membership, and it went back to Sky, and so
Oh yes, yes. Good, yeah, good, God, that's good memory. That's good. And also, the bottom line is though, and hopefully you both will agree with me, regardless of anything, there's certain things you shouldn't touch, and Boxing Day football should never have been touched. It's a
Yeah.
tradition. It should
Yeah, yeah.
everyone should play. Everyone should kick off at 3 o'clock. Everyone should just be able to. Boxing Day, you have Christmas Day, you then go out to football. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, exactly. You wake up. Obviously, everyone's got their leftovers from Christmas, like dinner and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, yes, all these games on the Boxing Day. Now that's taken away. But
But
yeah,
but no,
but that's
I
everything.
agree.
Unless any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Um, um,
time will
no.
tell. That's all I can say. 10 games in.
Yep. All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. We'll see you all again soon. Take care.
Okay.